One of the problems with the Kurama thing that I feel like they're gonna run into is that there is no way for Himawari to earn this power. There just isn't. Because Naruto first just had to straight up master the power. Like he needs to steal Kurama's chakra. He needs to be strong enough. And then more importantly, he had to earn Kurama's trust through his actions. He had to prove to Kurama that, yeah, you can trust me. I am a human who cares about you. And I want you to be loved, not be hated. For Himawari, that can't happen. If first of all, if it's the same Kurama who's already happy with humans, it's like okay. And if it's a fresh baby Kurama who doesn't hate humans yet, so there's no way for Himawari to like quote unquote win him over. He's just gonna already be on that side. And in terms of like power, well, Kurama's already on Himawari's side. She doesn't need to do the whole master his power thing because he can just willingly give it to her, which just means she would just get KCM or whatever the hell pretty much instantly. Now, of course, they can do other power forms. It doesn't have to be Naruto's copycat. But regardless, I don't know how you're gonna have Himawari earn this power. Like
Well,
she
it
just
might it
has
might be
it.
it might be one of those things where because like we don't really know how strong baby Kurama is right now. There's not going to be any really explanation that's gonna unless they just throw a complete curveball. Like there's not going to be one that I feel like I'm not going to at least have to be scratching my head about. But what I will say is that there's a fear and a hope in a way. Hope is that because it's baby Kurama, logically, and better storytelling, it'd be a better way to do this, is that you have to wait for Kurama to grow in order for Himawari to get more and more power. Because we don't know how strong this baby Kurama is right now. For all we know, it can only be just about as strong as a one-tailed version 1 Naruto at like that by the end of part 1 Naruto. So, but on the other hand, what I was gonna hate for this to happen, if the story is written where Himawari needs to get this miraculous power up out of nowhere, and then she gets KCM because the plot demands it, then I'll be like, no, 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 no. Okay, now you're really wanting me to just drop the series altogether because there's no way you convince me that that's earned, like you said.
Well,
So
exactly, that's the problem. Even if Kurama has to grow over time, that's not Himawari earning it. That's just Kurama getting stronger with age.
well, okay,
That's
no,
not Himawari
no,
earning
what,
anything.
no, what I will say though is that if it is Rama has to grow in order to get stronger, then I could be okay with it if they take the time to both invest in the power and the relationship of Himawari and the Kurama. Then it'll be like, okay, they're both getting stronger together. That will work for me. Like, I will actually be okay with that. If they write it into the series that she needs this miraculous power up immediately because of the plot demands it, then I'll be upset. It'd be like she's like learning Sage Mode like right out the bat because she needs to learn it because she needs to be useful in this fight. Like no, like you don't do that. You can't just put baby Kurama in there and just expect me to believe that she can master KCM. Or even going further than that, you can't expect me to believe that baby Kurama is as strong as adult Kurama like hundreds of years later. That's where my thing is. If they show Himawari and Kurama getting stronger together as the story goes on, then I'll be okay with that. Then I'll be like, okay, at least you took the time to do it right, or at least attempted to do it right, or attempted to take time to do it right.
Yeah, so far, there's been next to nothing with Himawari earning it, just like foreshadowing. That's like arguably, that's probably just coincidental. Of like, it's a really big of a stretch of like, oh, she has a Kurama doll in the fillers from 300 years ago. So
That's not
it's
foreshadowing. Yeah, like
Exactly.
that's yeah,
Compared to
that's not
Naruto,
foreshadowing.
Kurama, his trust and his story is ingrained with Naruto's life in Naruto's story. Okay, how did Naruto earn Kurama's trust? Because Naruto's not only strong enough to defend himself in the war against threats, but he's defending Kurama as well. How did he get to that point? By getting Kurama's power. How? By overcoming Kurama. What did he have to do to do that? He had to not only train as a ninja growing up, he had to overcome himself, the waterfall of truth, overcoming his darkness. How was that darkness there? It was put there by Kurama, from his darkness that he's burned in Naruto's life with by making him alone. And how did he overcome that? By being Naruto. The whole story, he's been alone. That was his burden, his darkness. He had to deal with that. And in spite of that, as a kid, he was training to, even though he was a loser, a dunce, a weak person, bottom of the class, he was still training to overcome that. He met Kurama's like, oh, you stupid fox, you owe me rent. He later on went on to lose to Sasuke, but he never gave up. He continued to earn Kurama's trust by fighting as a ninja, growing more powerful, eventually overcoming the hatred that Kurama himself placed there, and then overcoming Kurama's hatred and fighting with Kurama to earn his trust through power. There's so many different angles to where it's just intrinsically, it's ingrained. The life and the story of Kurama with Naruto, there's nothing there with Himawari as of now, anyways.
Exactly, because like as you said, like Himawari's starting point. I don't want character like Himawari could have character arcs. For example, like her coming to the desire to become a ninja, to help Boruto and all. It's cool and all, but how does that play into Kurama? It doesn't. Like that doesn't even coincide whatsoever with anything Kurama related.
No,
well, unfortunately, I have this fear that Himawari is going to get the reincarnation treatment per se, because like what you were saying, Oodie, like I totally agree. Like what you said, like the story is built on Naruto being the underdog. He had to work in order to gain the power. He had to work in order to master the power. He had to work in order to gain the trust of Kurama, in order to, befriend Kurama. And so, like, I get it. But then, for a lot of fans, and me included, the whole reincarnation, him being Ashura's reincarnation, is a total slap in the face to that underdog hard work aspect. Because now, I have to say that it takes away from it per se, because I still feel like Naruto is the underdog story. But that reincarnation aspect kind of does play into the, okay, it is destiny that he becomes this powerful. But I'm almost kind of afraid that might be what Himawari has done to her character arc in the future. Like she might have this, not saying it's going to be the reincarnation like verbatim like plot point that's going to be tied to Himawari. What I'm saying is like, because it's Himawari, like she might get written in a way of where like she's just meant to be this strong because again the plot demands it. So we have to come up with some way to have it make the slightest bit of sense, even though it probably won't. So just like, I feel like they're writing themselves into a corner at this point.
For Himawari, it's shown us very early on that she has the potential to be ridiculously strong. Who her parents are, she's got this ridiculous lock-on mode that we still don't have any explanation on that makes her really strong. Like realistically, everyone knows she was going to be strong. The question though is, how does that play into the story?
Yeah, that's not a character trait, by the way. Because characters are the ones that drive the story forward. Like you said, there's no character development there. If you're going to say Himawari at the end of part 1 or the prophecy arc, her character arc is deciding to become a ninja. If that's...
So see, it's not really a character arc. It's just like, I was just trying to think of what we have, and that's basically it. That's why I stopped myself. Like, that's not really a character arc.
I feel like, if anything, that's a cliffhanger kind of thing.
Agree.
Yeah, it's like, okay, she's decided to become a ninja now. Okay, that's something new that we could look forward to. It's not really a character arc. It's more of like, okay,
So I'm sharing my screen.
It's a character thing.
If Himawari's character arc is that, then this is Sakura's character arc. This stupid meme. Character development be like, then, Sasuke, where are you? Now. I wonder where he is now.
Yeah.